Okay, guys. So, I thought it'd be a good idea to, you know, as a diehard Kyle Busch fan, give you my, I guess, pre-championship race thoughts and predictions and everything. Just like a pre-race video for the championship race. So, oh man. So your championship four is Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson, Joey Logano, and Carl Edwards. I think, first of all, this is going to be a phenomenal race. I can guarantee you that one. No matter who comes out on top, and no matter what happens with Kyle, this is going to be a phenomenal race. You know, we start ninth, which is the highest of the championship four, which is already dramatic within itself. And then Edwards is next to us, and then 13th and 14th is, I think it goes Johnson then Logano. I forget. But they're both 13th and 14th, and then us and Edwards are 9th and 10th. So that's dramatic in itself. It's like we're starting in the 5th row, and then they're back in the 7th row. So there's going to be a row splitting the championship four in the starting grid, like near the middle of the pack, I guess. So that's dramatic within itself already. And then with that, like having the championship four starting like within 5 or 6 positions of each other in like the middle of the pack, God only knows how that's going to play out. That is just going to be like anything can happen at any moment with any of the championship four. My predictions, honestly, no biasness here. I think Kyle takes it home tomorrow. And the reason for that is our biggest competition is probably Johnson and Logano. And those two teams are very prone to making mistakes and doing dumb shit and screwing themselves out of races. And we are not as prone to doing that. Like, we don't make stupid mistakes on pit road. We don't make stupid mistakes on the track. We don't, as far as, like, penalties and stuff, like pit road mistakes and on the track mistakes, like penalties and all that, we're very disciplined and very good when it comes to that. Yeah, I think no biasness here. I think Kyle takes home his 2nd straight title tomorrow. That's just me being honest. Now, I don't think it's going to be easy for Kyle to take it home, but I do think he takes it home. I think if anyone shows him any kind of contention, it'll probably be Joey Logano. I can see the 19 teams somehow finding a way to screw it up, which, if Kyle's not going to win it, I would want them to win it, because not only are they JGR, but they're also not Joey Logano or Jimmy Johnson. I despise those two. Not as much Jimmy Johnson. The guy that I ultimately don't want to win it is Joey Logano. Because there's just reasons and like facts as to why I don't like him. Sure, he was our teammate a few years ago, and he was with JGR, and they were cool with each other and everything. But like that whole Kansas shit last year, and then just all the other dumb shit he's done over the years, just being a whiny little bitch. And I know you're gonna be in the comments like, "Oh, Kyle used to be like that." Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I'm sounding like a hypocrite right now because my driver used to be the same way, but still. I just have my reasons for not liking Logano, and I also have my reasons for not liking Jimmy Johnson. And Edwards, I really don't mind. Him being a teammate, and just, I respect him as a driver. So, if it's not Kyle, I definitely want it to be Edwards, but obviously I want it to be Kyle. Yeah, I think it's definitely going to come down to us and Logano. I think Johnson and Edwards, you never know, though, because like I said before, the 22 is one of those teams that's just very prone to making mistakes. It's almost like Hamlin's team. Like, it just seems like every week they do something stupid. Logano's team isn't as, like, excessive with that. Like, they don't do it, like, quite as often as that, but pretty frequently from what I've seen. So, and I don't know how he's going to handle Logano handle the pressure of, like, 2 years ago and screwing up that pit stop at the end of the race, and like trying to get Roger Penske that next championship, but also the pressure's on for Kyle to bring home that second straight title. Oh man, regardless of the outcome, this is due to be an outstanding, remarkable race. And regardless of the outcome, like, let's say Kyle doesn't get it, which once again I think he will, but let's say he doesn't, still a lot to be proud of and nothing to hang our heads over, honestly. Like, winning the championship last year after missing 11 races and then winning 5 and coming home with the title, and still coming in as a number 2 seed in the chase last year, even with those 11 races missed, and then just sometimes not pretty ways, but finding ways to make it through rounds and winning that title. And if we win the title again this year, the same might be said for finding like dramatic, like weird ways of getting through rounds. Like Talladega, we just did what we had to do. Phoenix, we definitely did what we had to do. Oh my lord. That wasn't really Kyle's fault though, people. Like, you have to look at this from a sensible perspective here. Where is Kyle supposed to go? Like, Bowman basically brake stands right in front of him, trying to block him, and then Kyle's got his momentum going into 1, and Bowman cuts down in front of him and blocks him and basically does a brake stand. Where is Kyle supposed to go? And even if Kyle didn't make contact, that still would have happened. Like, I believe that Bowman still would have gotten into Kenseth because of, Kenseth's spotter screwing up and telling him he was clear when he wasn't. And just, based on the circumstances, I think that still would have happened, even if Kyle didn't get into him. So people, that was not Kyle's fault. Again, no biasness, that wasn't Kyle's fault. He took a lot of blame for it after the race, but it wasn't his fault. But yeah. Yeah, it's definitely due to be a hell of a race, and I'm very excited for it. It's going to be nerve-wracking, but it's going to be fun to watch. So yeah, my predictions are Kyle takes home his second straight title, and my hopes are Kyle takes home his second straight title. And I think it's going to come down, if he doesn't make a mistake, it's going to come down to us and Logano. But if he makes a mistake, there's just so much that can happen here. I'm telling you, the starting grid makes things a lot more interesting. Like that 9th, 10th, 13th, 14th. And if you're a Kyle fan right now, you're feeling pretty good. Starting ahead of the championship 4. Us as Kyle Busch fans right now, we're feeling pretty confident and feeling pretty good about this. Coming off of last year's title, and what a consistent chase we have had. Like, honestly, I think we've had like 1 or 2 races where we didn't finish in the top 10. It seems like every week in the chase we've come on with a really good finish and like a really strong run. So this is by far the most consistent chase we've had. Because if you think about like failures and spinouts and everything, I don't want to jinx anything, but that hasn't really been a problem this year. Like last year, the New Hampshire chase race, we hit the wall. Martinsville, we spun out. Charlotte chase race last year, we got into Larson on pit road. Just like a few incidents, but this year we haven't really seen any of that. Again, I don't want to jinx it, but we just been able to stay out of trouble all year, and we've had a really, really good chase. So that's something to build off of, and yeah, it's definitely going to be a hell of a race, regardless of the outcome, and I'm really hyped. So yeah, you heard my predictions. I think Kyle brings it home. My hopes, obviously. I hope Kyle brings it home. And if anyone's in contention with him, either Logano or Johnson, I think Edwards is going to find some way to not be in contention at the end. Even though that's not really how I want it to play out, because somebody's going to be in contention at the end, and I hope it's Edwards. if it's anybody with Kyle. But I predict that it's going to be either Logano or Johnson, barring that I could be sounding like an idiot right now, and they could like not be one of those two of those teams. But it seems like every couple weeks, every few weeks, they're just one of those two teams are just finding ways to get into trouble. Like Hamlin's team, like it seems every week they're just like making some dumb mistake, and it just seems like that with those two teams. So, Edwards has the highest pit stall, and we're a few pit stalls behind him, so that's another good thing. Those two JGR pit stalls are up front. So this is definitely going to play out in JGR's favor, however this goes. I predict, at least. It's definitely looking good, too. Let's just say that. I just totally said that it is. We don't know that, but, you know, what a Sunday tomorrow's going to be for me. We have the Eagles going on the road for a huge game against Seattle, and then obviously the race for Kyle. Outstanding Sunday in store for me tomorrow. I don't think the Eagles win, but miracles could happen in the NFL, as we've seen in the past. But yeah. For the race, I'll do like in-race reactions. Like I'll do, if I have to do 2 parts, I will, but I don't think I will because in the past few weeks I've made like tons of space on my phone and I've been able to record like really long videos like these Eagles videos for you guys. I've been sometimes like 15 minutes long. So, and this one right here is going on 12, 13 minutes. So, yeah, I should be able to put it all into one video, but I'll do like throughout the race updates and like reactions and, you know, reactions to big restarts and big pit stops and stuff, just like every little thing that I could react to. I'm going to do like the most in-depth kind of reaction video that I've ever done in my life in the way of a race. So, like Watkins Glen, I did like the ending of the race reaction, and same with Phoenix to advance to the championship for. But for this race, I'm probably going to be watching like probably the whole thing. The Eagles game might interfere with that a little bit. Like I might switch back and forth a little bit because I do want to watch the Eagles game because it's a huge game for the Eagles. Stephen A. Smith is like talking shit about Carson Wentz and everything. Like this is not a huge game for Carson Wentz. He's going to get roughed up and the Eagles are going to get embarrassed. Please. Anything can happen on any Sunday. And this Eagles team, regardless of the outcome of some of these games, this is a really good football team. And I'm talking about the Eagles right here. Like, this is a good football team, but this is not an Eagles video. I'll get more into Eagles stuff for all you Eagles people on my channel. I'll get into more of that tomorrow. You know, I'll obviously do my reaction video on that for everything, too. But my main focus tomorrow is the race. So I'm going to do my in-depth reaction video, like the best reaction video I've ever done. And regardless of the outcome, people, I am still going to be beyond proud to have all that stuff in my room. You know, it is, again, regardless of the outcome tomorrow, it is still a wonderful time to be a Kyle Busch fan, people. Winning the title last year and then being in position for another one this year after winning 4 races this year, it's still a really good time and a really good future to be a Kyle Busch fan. Or it's bound to be in the future also, regardless of the outcome tomorrow. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Go 18, Rowdy Nation, stand up, and we'll see what happens. I'll check back with you guys tomorrow.